recorded.
Oh, he said penis.
Recorded. Okay.
Oh,
Sorry,
he said penis.
Anyways, we're live, but it probably got the
Oh,
first part of that conversation.
Are we live now?
yeah.
Yeah, we are live and already started very, very good. Maybe we should explain what we were talking about. We were talking about symbology and sexual symbology and how sexuality was transforming a taboo and in different kind of symbology in different culture, from the lingam of Hindu Valley to whatever, the problem of censorship that we will deal today. So interesting.
Yeah. So we took some sides.
Yes, this is the
Anyway,
life, the beauty of the life. Where you are live in the wrong moment, say the wrong sentence, and people say, "What they're talking about?"
Which I think that's what happened. I think it caught the last part of our conversation.
yeah.
But it'll just be
So
interesting.
yeah. Anyway, we will make a revolution against censorship. Uh,
Yeah,
Andreas
let's
was
do.
just saying there. So yeah. So censorship is this like the enemy of creativity?
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes, I mean, to avoid censorship, you can be even more creative and try to trick and go around and find a way to represent whatever you want. I think about during the Stalin era in the Soviet Union, there were a lot of writers and musicians that were trying to convey the message that they wanted to do. Think about Bulgakov with the Master and Margarita and
Hmm.
they managed to have the book published in episode and different episode, and then when the regime discovered what was the real meaning of the book, of course it was too late. And I like that, but Bulgakov didn't have a nice life for that, so it's dangerous. I mean, a lot of people escape. Like, think about Nureyev, that the famous escape. So
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
yeah, but, I mean, censorship should not be there. One should be open to say what you want to say, above all in art. I mean, think about how many pieces of art are completely against what is the standard or what is the acceptable or what is the taboo. And they work of art to express whatever they need to express in a shocking way. Maybe sometimes too much. It depends if your goal is shocking or if you have a message to convey. So this is the is the pivotal point. Is the key. And this is the reason why in the volume one of the magazine we have an amazing article about censorship in the world of tarot because there are many artists that were completely censored because that if you want to be adherent to the tradition you should be represent many cards with naked figure like the world is naked or the fool. Sometimes the fool has the dog pulling down the trousers and you see all the genitalia of the fool there. Full view is part of the meaning of the card. If you censor the card, you lose part of the meaning. Think about the devil. The devil, if you agree with the interpretation of Jodorowsky says in the figure of the devil, like an hermaphrodite, is the union mystica between male and female. And so you have to see the penis and you have to see the vagina of the devil. The devil have bosom, female bosom, and this is necessary if you want to interpret the figure of the devil like the union mystica. You have to represent everything, otherwise you lose the concept. And so you cannot censor the tarot card in this way, but decks were censored. So when I published one of my first deck, I was told to change the representation of the devil because it was too risky, and I didn't do it. I refused to do it. It was published like that, but there were a lot of caveat there because they would say, this is an artistic deck, so pay attention, and I found a little bit crazy.
Mhm. Yeah, that's, I can't believe that they would do that because it takes away from what it is. It takes away from the depth of the card, how you're going to read the card, and what the symbolism is.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we lost
Yeah,
Ben.
I will be back. Maybe I have a problem with the
Okay.
connection. So, yeah. No, I
Okay.
agree with you. I agree with you. It is the reason why
Yeah.
in the volume one of the magazine we wanted to talk about topics that are very close to today, to the things that I mean, the challenges that every artist or writer have to face, that every creator have to face, because having even tarot deck sensor now is quite intriguing. If try to show this kind of decks on social media, they are immediately censored. I mean, as we were saying before, they are censored now, even Botticelli art or Renaissance art, and I think this is quite sad because if a dear friend of mine, a German friend of mine, says, if you don't like to see something, look to the other side. Why you have to censor work of art because just a minority are offended? Because honestly, I don't know many people that are offended by the Venus of Botticelli that is there in the nude in open air emerging from the water. It's part of the concept, it's part of the beauty of the painting. So it's not even erotic. I mean, it's just nudity. It's the nudity
Yeah.
of the newborn. So why you have to censorship? I mean, it's crazy.
Oh yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, and actually it's perfect because I've been diving into that iconography, where it's like literally what's happening in history. So now you're going to not only just censor because you're offended, but you're censoring how history is playing out, how they viewed something in that time, and literally changing history. And that is not
Yeah,
cool.
no, this is wrong. This is absolutely wrong.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
cannot reinterpret in this way, let's say, sanitize history of art. History is full of horror. I mean, how can you? I was thinking, I saw a few days ago a very tough documentary about the Shoah and I mean the genocide that happened in World War II, and they were showing the concentration camp censoring everything. And I understand why you want to censor. I mean, there are very tough images, but maybe if you don't, I say maybe because I mean, it's difficult. If you don't censor, you show the horror for what it is, and maybe we will not repeat it again. Is you have to see the horror, face it to avoid it. If you censor it, you don't feel the horror for its depth. And I think when you study history, when you study something that is so incredibly painful, incredibly deep, incredibly shocking, well, this is what it is. You have to be to have a stomach, and maybe the fact that we suffering still watching this kind of reality or historical documentary is important because it's what to give you the punch and make you think and make you act in such a way to avoid that reality. I mean, look at what's happening now in the world when all the fascism are back in in vogue. We need to talk about the horror of fascism so we avoid it or try to fight it. And anyway,
yeah. No, it's true. It's, yeah, it's so important to, and it's understanding the human condition as well, understanding like how you want to sympathize with things, how you want to move forward in life. It's
yeah,
understanding the very basic of human conditions,
yeah.
and it shouldn't be something to look away from or, put aside or even pretend it didn't happen. Yeah.
No, I totally agree. This is the reason why I created the magazine because I wanted to talk about esoterism in a way that is deep but accessible and give people material to think. Because otherwise we are submerged by the superficiality of the quick content that you consume in few seconds. And I keep thinking, I keep saying that for study something like tarot, something like magic, something like numerology, if you wanted to do very seriously, if a long life journey is something that lasts a life. You cannot learn in few days or in few seconds just watching a YouTube or Instagram quick and funny video. I mean, that can be the beginning, but then you have to go deeper. Then you have to go and discover everything that is there that is not visible in the first 5 seconds. But this
Mhm.
is our culture. Fast food, everything. And I like slow food. I like enjoying what I'm eating. I like enjoying my books. I like enjoying writing and creating my stuff, my art and everything. And as a director of the magazine, I enjoy the articles that provoke. The article about censorship is provoking, but not in a provocative way. It's provoking because it talks about a topic that now we are not used to think about anymore. I mean, we are so used to see nudity censored in artwork that we don't even think anymore that is wrong, if is wrong or right. We don't even ask the question. And this is important. I want to create a magazine that asks questions without giving answers. So the number one is, I think, is more in teas is different than the number zero, the volume zero, because I try to have a big topic. I mean, there are different topics, but I selected one topic. This time was tarot and landscape. So the landscape depicted in the tarot cards, but even the landscape real landscape and how it influenced tarot reading and tarot navigation and something like that. So one concept, see from three different point of view, from by three different authors, and I think is interesting. I think these give people depth that other maybe other magazine cannot deliver. So it's interesting asking a question and see three different answers or three different evolving of the same concept. And this, I think, is when I was collecting all these articles, I enjoy putting together in a dialogue. It was very intriguing. It was challenging, but I like it. And people, I mean, we are just starting the shipment and the delivery because we are live for what, 2 weeks. So a lot of magazines are still traveling around the world. So I'm looking forward to have the feedback. But the people that already have it, they are writing amazing reviews about the magazine. So I'm really, really happy and I'm really proud.
Yes, I'm
It's amazing.
sure. Yeah. I loved the first, well, the zero, I should say. So I'm really excited about getting this one because you always bring together all these amazing voices and people you wouldn't normally hear from. We were actually talking about this last week where Shakespeare was huge, but who was in his shadow? Who were the ones that had amazing voices that didn't weren't able to put their
Yeah,
work out into it? And I feel like you
yeah,
find those people where they
yeah,
make you think differently. Oh, go ahead.
yeah. Let's say that having had my very tough experience as an artist and writer in Italy, when it's very difficult to have visibility even on social media, whatever. I mean, society is very tough, very static, so it's different to breach. And whenever you do exhibition and everything, I keep heard, slow down. You will be rich and you can do whatever you do now when you are 60. Now you are outrageous. You cannot do something like that. I was just doing my job. I mean, creating and pushing the stuff because I mean, I started to have exhibition in museums instead of gallery of arts because I prefer to create a dialogue with culture instead of creating a dialogue with a merchant. It's far
Hmm.
less if it's boring for me. There was nothing to say. And then, I mean, many galleries in Italy were selling out like you can sell potato in the market. I don't like that. Sorry, I mean, very blatant, but I didn't like it. So I took my experience and I said, okay, if when I create a magazine and then I create now it is two volumes are already there, so I'm happy. I said, I don't want to give voice to someone that is already there, plaster everywhere. So even if you see, we talk about a lot of tarot deck. Sometimes they may be mainstream, but if we talk about them, it's because they are incredibly important. Otherwise, I talk about self-publishing authors, rare tarot deck, collectibles or art editions and maybe were printed just in, I don't know, 100 or 50, because the value of something is not if it's market, is everything has it, but is the magic that is imbued in the card, the illustration, the meanings you have there, the philosophy that you have there. The beauty of a tarot deck is that one, not if you have cats of unicorns or something like that. This is just the noise, is just the aesthetic of tarot cards. And I mean, you can have a depth philosophical universe there too. I don't say that if you have cats or unicorns, you don't have it, but it depends. I mean, it depends on what you want to do. If you want to create something to sell, or if you want to create something to communicate a value or a concept. This is the
Mhm.
difference.
Oh,
Mhm.
yes. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and yeah, that's why I like that about the magazine. That, like you're saying, putting it out there with things that are like that. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. I thought there was a question. No, somebody was just agreeing. Okay, just in case. Keeping my eye open for questions.
Yeah, but we always like questions.
Yes. Yeah. Well, so a comment
And
popped up, so
this
I wanted to make
is
sure.
the number
Yeah.
one. We are talking about this one. I want to show a little
Yes.
I open. This time, do you remember the first issue? There was a page number, the volume number 0, there was a map. This time, I want
Yes.
to create a different connection. So this is the end of the left end of Destiny, and this is the table of content all around the end.
Oh,
So
I
now I have a
love
little bit of reflection. Sorry, there is the lamp on my desk that is right there. But I
I
wanted to show you the article we were talking about
yes.
censorship, because I think this is the article about censorship that is presented with a graphic that mimic a censor document.
Yeah. Oh, I like how that is. Yes. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, because as always, I think I wanted to have a graphic style, a design to reflect the soul of the article. So
Mhm.
we wanted to talk about censorship. We did it, and we censor the article. Of course, it's not a full, no, it's this page. It's not a full censor that you cannot read, but is in transparent, so you can see that. And I mean, it is a intellectual game if you want, but in this way is more you are brought inside the topic with the graphic, with the pictures and everything. And I think people will like it, is liking it. So it's something
Yeah.
that is, I think is important, like talking about Sherazade and the storytelling and the dream space, talking about dreams, from a psychological and mystical point of view. I created this illustration that
Yeah.
is quite
That's
Oh, that
amazing.
was. Yeah.
Sherazade night and everything. I think is important. It is the reason why I we went out with only two issues, because it takes a lot of time to do all the illustrations,
Mhm.
gathering everything, talking with the authors, deciding the topics, deciding the style and everything. Is quite long, but I like that.
Yeah.
As I said, it's slow cooking, and it
Yeah.
needs its time to be ready, to be prepared, and when it's ready, it's out. So usually there will be spring and summer edition, and then autumn winter edition. So in two
Yeah.
different area of the year, two volumes, and let's see.
Oh, yes. I can't wait. That, because I'm sure they're going to address this in the article for censorship too, but a lot of the places you go to, they do censorship because they try and justify it by saying it's protecting people, it's keeping them safe, or, all the reasons why they do censorship. So I didn't know if that article addressed that because, they try and like say censorship for what it is, not that just it offends, but oh, we're doing this because we're offended, but we're going to put out in the world as we're protecting you, which is
You know,
crazy.
I quote Oscar Wilde. One
Oh,
is said
yes.
that people that are easily shocked should be shocked more often. I think
Yes.
we
I
are
like that.
building a kind of society when the priority is not to offend, protect. Protect, I understand, but sometimes you have to shock, you have to offend, because from what that offend you, they want to shock you, something that shock you, offend you, force you to face a reality that maybe you don't want to see. We cannot live in a fake place, like, I don't know, Disney World. Now I think that social media, it looks like a Disney World. I don't want to be violence and blood and ugly, nasty things everywhere. It's not that. But we cannot close our eyes and pretend not that the ugliness is not there. We
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
change the world in such a way that every day there is less and less violence. Not,
Hmm.
and the way of doing it is not looking to the other side, is facing reality and trying to change it.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree.
So, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm very proactive. And again, maybe because I study philosophy, but I found very boring the kind of philosophers that don't say anything that punch you. Sometimes the things that I remember more, or the authors of the books that change my life and my way of thinking, are the ones that challenge me.
Hmm.
Without the challenge, we cannot grow.
Yeah.
And I think now everything in every field, like the esoterica, tarot, everything, is like we live in a very secluded garden protected by high walls because everything that is coming from the outside is perceived like threatening a menace or something that can disrupt the peace of the garden. But outside the garden, there is a full world to explore. And yes, there is the jungle, there is the tiger, there are lions, but there are even, I don't know, the gazelle, the river, the cliff. There are beautiful things, and we have to see
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. Oh
Hmm.
my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole picture. I feel like it deepens your understanding too, and how you're going to view things differently, even within your own understanding, by seeing the complete picture and not shielding yourself or shielding other people. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, we don't have to protect ourselves or others in that way. I mean, is otherwise you start to censor too much. I remember one day
yes, I
that, I
agree.
mean, my nephew is, of course, in Italian, he's living in Italy, a completely different culture that the one that you find in England. And he was a kid, he came to see me in London. And we were waiting a train at King Cross. And I saw him looking like that with big eyes, a guy that was completely plastering tattoo from the head down. And he was doing like, oh, what is this weirdo? And I know why, because the culture of my people or the culture of my country is completely different. It's very conservative. So something like that is considered ugly. And I noticed and I provoked him and I said, "Oh, look at the guy with all these tattoos." And I didn't say, given a judgment. And he said, "Oh, yes, he's so ugly." And I said, "He's so ugly? I like him." He looked at me like that. He said, "Yes, I like him." Maybe I didn't do it in my face because I don't know if I like to have tattoo on my face, but I would like to have all my body tattoo. And so, really, uncle? Yes. And then I will look at him and I said, "Don't you think it's so beautiful to live in a world where everyone express their own personality as they want? I mean, he's not offending you, he's not doing something wrong, he's expressing with his body an aesthetic value. If you don't like it, it's your aesthetics against his. It's your judgment, but you don't never prevent someone else to do
Hmm.
what they want if they don't do any harm at all. So this is what we should do. Uh, Push a little bit and show that a point of view can be dangerous because narrow your view,
Hmm.
narrow your perception of the world. And this is
Yeah.
what absolutely I want to do with a magazine. Break the walls, show what is behind, what you don't see. And
Hmm.
I think we
Yeah.
managed. I think we really managed. And
Oh
I
yeah.
keep receiving requests from different writers, I mean, amazing thinker because they like the freedom of the magazine. They like the experimental nature of it. I have authors that said, I would like to experiment with this concept. Now I cannot say because we are still experimenting, so I don't want to say too
Yeah.
much. It would be a surprise for volume two. So I said, yes, this is incredibly intriguing. No one did it before. This is the reason why it's so difficult. Yes, I agree, but I'm here. I mean, let's do it together. Let's do it. Let's use this concept and see where we go. And I think this
Hmm.
is fantastic. This is the beauty of what we are doing because we are
Yeah.
doing it all together. I never say
Hmm.
no to strange ideas, to challenging ideas.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
Hmm.
yeah. That's I like that you create that space that people can have the freedom to explore a subject or to even just explore at all. Because like
Yeah,
just be throwing an idea out there and debating about it, you know.
yeah.
I think that's the
Sometimes
beauty of the magazine.
exactly. Sometimes I said, okay, it depends on what you want to do. I was
Yeah.
talking with an author that wrote something that was really controversial, and I said, I mean, controversial because is again whatever you think to know, we think to know about a specific topic. And I said, okay, I think can be really interesting, can be really challenging, but it depends on how you phrase it. Don't phrase it like the truth, because I don't think it is. It's an
Yeah.
experiment. There is
Yeah.
something there. I mean, if you phrase it like a thought experiment, imagine if this were true. And then you draw all the consequences. And then in this process, we can learn far more because all you can demonstrate your ideas is right, but sometimes you cannot demonstrate it. So you open a window and say, okay, I think this is the reason why. And you explain. You put it like, okay, I'm not certain of it, but this is the reason why it's so interesting because it's an hypothesis.
Hmm. Yeah.
And we want to work like that in this way because it's more borderline, because it's open more the mind, it's open the field. And I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too. Yeah. I like that. Anything that makes you think, like puts you outside to think something's different, because you don't get that a lot. Where somebody decides to put something out there in the left field, it actually makes you not only want to think about it differently, but start to explore the subject more, start to
Yeah.
research it more, start to
Yeah.
really, yeah, dive into it. Those are the
Yeah.
best kind of works.
No, but then there is a problem that we risk to be egocentric because the Western world always refer to the Western philosopher, Western artist, and they concept. The concept we build our part of society. But I would like to think myself not a citizen of the West, but a citizen of the world. Of
Hmm.
course, I born in a specific kind of society, so my knowledge is limited or shaped by the society I'm born into it.
Hmm.
But I want to open my mind, and esoterica, the world of the occult, is around, is spheric, is cover all the world. So we want to deal and see what other people in different culture in different part of the world thinking says about the same topic we are eviscerating, talk about, we have doubts, and putting everything together
Hmm.
is an explosive cocktail. And I love it. This time there are two articles about one is inspired by the Islamic world, like Sherazad and the dream and the storytelling. And the other one is an incredibly beautiful article about magic in the Islamic world. That is a very interesting topic. It's very, very difficult because it's almost under the carpet. You don't talk that freely. But there are lots of aspects that are incredibly interesting, incredibly new for someone that never approached them. So the magic seal, the gene, the protection about the gene, and the gene possession. The idea that they are doing exorcism to free a person from a gene that he took possession of the body of a person is very magical, very interesting. I love that. Is folk magic, is folklore, is tradition, is history, and it goes back to time. To it. It's
Hmm.
fascinating.
Oh, that is fascinating because that's not something that, especially in magic in the Islam world, that's something they don't really delve into a lot. It's very strict. Oh, I like that. So now I'm gonna have to like find that. Is that an article that, yeah,
Yeah, but I
that
said I
it's
think
okay.
we took a lot of time in organizing
Yeah.
the different topics, the different articles, and try to have different point of view, not just only on the same topics, but different voices coming from different continents. And sometimes it's very difficult because people don't want to talk about different topics, or they are ashamed or they feel secure of doing it or they feel protected. But this is a phase is a safe space, and I like that. We want to
Yeah.
provide a safe space for artists to experiment, writers to write their own thinking, and open their mind to the community and see what they say. And this is the reason
Hmm.
why I wanted to create it already with the number volume 0, but it was too soon, too difficult. Now that I feel more secure and more, I know exactly what I want to do. We start. We will start very soon because I think the first one is the 24th. We will do a live, and I want to do live with different authors, one by one, of in group, to talk about a specific topic and navigate their thought in a different way, in a deeper way, in such a way that you as a reader can ask questions to them, you can go deeper. And I want to present our contributors as people, as person, with their own mind, their doubts, the question, the answer, the partial answer they have. In such a way, everything is more alive. We want to challenge ourselves. We want to debate, and I want to create a debate. So
Yeah.
it's a big challenge, but in this way, the magazine is going out of the page of the magazine, and it almost, I mean, almost literally. It isn't, you know that I love multimedia. Then I did tarot deck, oracle deck that are with augmented reality. So the cards, when you see through a mobile or a tablet, they come alive and they talk, and there is music and animation that express the concept, the meaning of the card. We wanted to do the same with the magazine. I couldn't do with augmented reality, not this time, but I do it with a QR code. So the QR code is leading you to music, specific music to listen when you read the article. Because we study very well, very carefully with the author, because I said, okay, what kind of music we can put to feel the article, to feel as with his emotion, not just rationally. And then there is an article that led to a meditation, because it is an article about Mother Nature as a
Hmm.
figure, a female figure, and a very interesting one. And we needed to end with a different way the article. And we didn't, only the written words on paper were not enough. And so when the author showed me this amazing, amazing, very amazing meditation, I wanted immediately in the article, and we put it there. So I think it is interesting. Is the magazine? I see the magazine as a platform. The
Yeah.
printed copy or the digital copy, whatever copy you buy, you have in your hand, is like the beginning of a journey. Then there is
Hmm.
all the other part of the reality that are attached. And I want to grow and grow more. And it's a big challenge, but I'm not afraid of it.
Hmm.
And I have the support of the Psychic College, the College of Psychic Studies in London, of the Tokyo Taro Museum in Japan. So there are lots of institutions that are incredibly prestigious that like the magazine, that distribute the magazine, and are part of the magazine, give it the space for a debate, like the college, of the Mr. Sato, the director and founder of the Tokyo Taro Museum, is a resident writer. If,
Hmm.
and I like his voice because he's the voice of Taro from Japan, from the Japanese culture. And I have to say, he's incredibly poetic. While I saw too often in the Western part using Taro being used to predict the future in a very, I would say, in an inelegant way, I saw from the East a more intriguing way of reading tarot, not to read the future, but as a mirror for the soul. A little bit more deeper, more psychological, more intriguing, and with a respect and a
Hmm.
poeticity, a poesy, a lyrics that is amazing. I love it. I spoke with different people coming from Asia, from Thailand, from Japan, and their point of view of tarot, maybe because it's not radicated in the culture, because tarot are born in a Christian culture, in a specific, in a Catholic culture, so they are completely different with a lot of um, influences from the Latin and the Greek world, the Middle Ages, and whatever. So it's very, very interesting. But the history is based on other premises. So it's incredibly fascinating for them, and it's incredibly fascinating for me to see how our tarot are reinterpreted, read, and analyzed. It's fascinating. I
Yeah.
think it's a very free, fresh approach, and I love it.
Hmm. Yes. No,
Yeah.
definitely. Oh, sorry. Or are you gonna say? I was just,
No,
well,
no, it was a
oh, sorry. I thought you were gonna say something.
I,
And that's
I was
interesting. Oh,
I was headbanging through my screen in agreement.
okay. So, because you're talking about how you're getting the authors on a platform, is that like you're just going to do interviews, or is it like the magazine, like a podcast or a magazine, just so people know where to watch all those? Because you said you already
uh,
started.
I would, okay, yes, it will be, now there are live interviews.
Okay.
If I cannot do it live, I will record it, but I like the idea of the live because in this way, the reader
Yes.
can ask, can participate.
Yes.
That is for me is very, very
Yes.
important.
Yeah.
For now, there is a page in the website that is called events.
Oh,
So
okay.
you have there, but is unfortunately it's not yet linked to the menu. So you have to know that it's there, otherwise you don't reach it. And I have to solve the problem. And I mean, it's not a problem. I have to create the connection, and every time I forget it. So now I'm using social media to communicate the events and everything. And it would be, I mean, as you know, I'm alone doing this. I mean, behind the scene, being the director and the technical and the illustrator, and so it's quite tough. Sometimes there are bits and bobs that are lost, and you have to do it. But it's okay because I mean it's okay. We will learn doing it and we will be I mean perfection doesn't exist. We have just to follow
Yeah.
our dreams going on and I have the help and the assistance of the authors that communicate very well whenever there is a live. So it's
Oh,
okay, it's
good.
perfect. The first slide we do with Janet Piedilato, the
Oh,
expert of dreams, and she's an
yes.
amazing writer. She has a deep mind, and I like to start with her where we talk about dreams and storytelling, and let's see where we go because we
Oh,
wanted to talk about our experience of how we have life change experience to dreams, connecting with different realities in a mystic way or in a psychological way. So it will be interesting because let's see, she will talk about something that she don't often share. I will share a personal experience, and then we will see where we go. So it's really really intriguing. We spend already something like maybe 4 hours talking about the life, and sometimes I
oh,
said we should have recorded this because
yeah.
it was so deep. So amazing. You know, when you talk with friends, there's something incredibly amazing come up. So I said, okay, we have to keep it going and see, bring it out there and see what happens.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That's what, yeah. Even when Bjorn's like, oh, we're just going to talk for a few minutes, I always record it because then all of a sudden, like an hour later, we're talking about interesting subjects that I was like, and we can remember it. So I just always record. But
Yeah,
I love, I love the dream landscape because that's one of the subjects that goes way more in depth than anyone realizes. Like we're talking where you go into the parallel lifetimes, like parallel universes, like where you're having that parallel lifetime, whoops, or that, sorry, the you get the really good people who can dream interpret where you're like, I dreamt I was eating an apple under a tree, and they're like, well, that means when you were 6 years old, and then you're getting into shadow work. Like, so it's just so, I feel like the books they have on it aren't as deep as, like, obviously she must be very, like, just all over the landscape of that, but
yeah,
it's just so fascinating. And I love that you're bringing that out there because I think that's like one of the most kind of skated over topics,
yeah.
you know?
But but think about the way, I mean, think about even the dream like a mystical space when you are in contact with your subconscious. There are a lot of
Hmm.
scientists that made
Yes.
a discovery just, I mean, they solved a problem, making a discovery, making a theory, just dreaming. And sometimes, I mean, I remember there is the famous case of the Ouroboros. Now I don't remember the chemist that came out with the benzene ring. He was trying to crack the chemical formula of the benzene in Italian, so I don't know how to say in English. I mean the benzene. I don't improvise. I think it's benzene, but I'm not sure. So anyway, so carbohydrate, something like that. And he came out in dream with the Ouroboros, and he said, "Oh, it's a circular formula." And he came out, he cracked the formula. There is a Paganini
Wow.
when he one night he dreamed of the devil playing the violin, And for all his life he tried to replicate the music because it was fantastic. He dreamed his melody, his sound. It was so deep, so beautiful. And he immediately woke up and tried to replicate it, but it was impossible. So imagine how many things happens in our dream space. It's a space that we
Mhm.
should never dismiss with superficiality. Is an interesting space.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. It's fascinating. It was,
So
I
Janet
think it's,
in the article connect the dream space with the storytelling. So
yeah.
starting with her life and then Sherazad and a very specific narrative and everything. And we will start from there and see where we go. So curious.
Yes. No, I'm excited. That'll be a very fascinating
Well,
one.
something to look forward to.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to.
Exactly.
I'm really, really
Yes.
excited because I know that it will be incredibly mystical. I mean, the first time she told me the story that she want to share, I have goosebumps all over my. I mean, it was really deep, really deep. I was like, wow, I love that.
Yes. See, that would be a fascinating one because there's just like too many questions to ask because now my mind's just going off in a different way. Like, in people that dream world and then those that connect like death with dreaming. Like when you
How,
die but not really die.
Yeah,
where can
Oh,
people find you, Andreas? Where can people
you
make
can
sure that
find
they don't miss out on anything
yeah
from
on
your
social
magazine or
media.
your work?
Yeah, on social media, I have my personal account, so Andrea Aste, or artist Andrea Aste on Instagram. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Facebook, and then I have a Facebook group for the Discombobulator, and on Instagram, a page for the Discombobulator. And I will plaster the net with the information. I will have stories, I will have posts about the live so people can subscribe. So I because it will be alive on Zoom, and so
yeah.
they will be recorded. But in this way, it will be more personal, more intimate, and everyone will have the possibility, if they wish so, to interact, question, and talk with us.
Yes. Yeah, that'll be exciting. And I think we
Yeah.
shared the Zoom one for you.
Yeah,
Because that'll be, yeah. So we'll just keep doing that on
yeah,
the, yeah.
absolutely.
Oh my gosh, I know that'll be so fun. I like that too, interactive, because I feel like that's the one thing that we miss out on a lot is having those conversations, hearing what everybody else thinks and asking the questions that you might not ask or might not hear somebody ask.
Yeah,
It's always that
Yeah.
question from the random person that makes you really think.
Yeah.
I've
And
had those
someone
recently. Oh,
listening and not being here uh, live at this moment. You can also ask your questions under the video or wherever we post this. It will come in the right hands with Andrea via us, or maybe if it's like interesting enough. We like to have him as a live guest as well.
yes.
It's always very amusing. So yeah, it's also the exchange and the big advantage nowadays that you can really reach out. You can really be in contact with
Yes.
yeah,
your content creators and
yeah.
this
I
beautiful
think.
artists that we have here.
I think it is
Yes.
important. I think is we are here for sharing, not to be isolated in our own world with our own ideas and what we like and we don't like. We are here to share our experience, to make experience. And there is no, I mean, for me, there is no growth, there is no life, there is no fun if it's not shared. I never be
Hmm.
scared, even with an artist, to share my technique, to show what I'm doing, because I'm not scared about someone else picking up about my researches or my ideas and using them, because it would be a different use. If it be another person using, I mean, we are
Yeah.
not here for protect this kind of we are here to learn from each other. To it's like every one of us is just seeing a little part of the puzzle, but if we are, oh, we are holding just a little piece of the puzzle. But if we put all together, we can understand the big picture and not
Hmm.
just look at the little pieces that we are holding in our hands. So for me, it's
Yeah.
easy, the dialogue. And think about ancient philosopher like Plato. Plato refused to write book about philosophy. And you say, but we have lots of Plato books. Yes, but none of them is the definitive philosophy. He wrote with the specific idea of raising questions without giving the answer. If you read his book, you have different answers to the same question, and there is not a solution. You think there is a solution because maybe you like more idea than another, but they are open discourses, they are open dialogue, because for Plato, real philosophy is a dialogue. The real philosophy is the one that is alive. From the moment you put something written, you petrify it and you prevent it to grow. And this is absolutely interesting. I like this. I mean, I always loved Plato. He's one of the most poetic ancient philosophers, and he created a lot of myths, a lot of visual things. Think about the myth of the cavern, think of the myth of her. I mean, it's incredible. He's the first author talking
Hmm.
about the myth of Atlantis that he invented. So, I mean, it's
Yeah, yeah.
really, really interesting. It's fascinating. He knew how to tell stories. He's an amazing writer. And I was lucky enough to translate it from ancient Greek part of his work, so I enjoyed it
Hmm.
directly. And
Yeah, that's amazing.
Hmm.
And yeah,
Yeah.
I think yeah, that's why I like sharing these too. Plus, it'll be on all our podcast platforms, so anybody can watch it. You
yeah, but
know?
anybody can dialogue and ask questions, and
Yeah.
I like to
Hmm.
come back to our live or your channel and question
Yeah.
myself, posing question, writing question, or dialogue with other people that I found there is interesting. This is what is a live channel, is a channel that put people together, connect them in such a way
Hmm.
that they share ideas, points of view, and is not try to scream louder or to prevail with your ideas or try to be
Yeah.
right,
No.
but
Yeah.
sharing ideas, thoughts,
Yeah.
and see what happens and see how people modify them, how people make it better. And I like that. This is
Yeah.
the creative process of groups. When you collaborate with someone, I love collaboration. I did it mostly in theater. When you
Yeah.
start working on an idea and all the people involved started to add something, and then there is not just my idea, it's our idea.
Hmm.
And in being every one of us, if the group is equilibrated, there is not super ego or something like that, you come up with something that is bigger than
Yeah.
just the little piece of ideas that every one of us had. And I like
Yeah.
that.
Hmm. Oh, yeah. And plus,
Hmm.
you never know what
That's
you're going to
amazing.
put out there. Yeah. Sorry. Just going to say that's inspiring it to other people. You might inspire someone to do something greater than what they thought of before,
Yeah,
giving them that
absolutely.
missing piece. Yeah. That
Absolutely. I think no
completes
one
their
of
puzzle.
us has the
Yeah.
full picture of everything.
Yeah.
Even I mean, when I started with the magazine, I already knew that I can reach a certain level, but the level is already surpassed because I let the writer or the artist they are featured in the magazine to be free, to add their
Hmm.
ideas, their content, to play with them. And I like it. And
Yeah.
oh, by the way, we started a play with playing with tarot and landscape, and you have to read the article. And so we start
Yeah.
the game involving people to use tarot in a completely different way to navigate literally reality instead of having a compass and exploring and making a journey, and it will be fun. I do it with Anna Villa, Esoteric Isles. So this is the
Yeah.
name who is known. So amazing writer, and we will have a lot of fun.
That sounds exciting. I love using the tarot in different unique ways, like different spreads, like,
Yeah.
yeah, Alice in Wonderland
Yeah.
ones. Oh, yeah, definitely. Because it's so expansive. It should be used more than just asking the questions or getting clarity, but just diving into it.
Oh yeah, it's a system. You
Yeah.
can use it for
Oh,
different,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh
And
my
I mean, and
gosh.
the occult
Endless.
is so articulated. There is not just tarot. There are many other different systems. There are different way of thinking. There are seal magic. There are esoterica. There are alchemy. There are all the
Oh,
alchemy connected to psychology. If you think about Jung, Carl Gustav Jung, and
yeah.
how he re-elaborated all the concept for alchemy, giving to alchemy a very psychological interpretation. Then there are the mystics. I mean, it's a world that is so complex,
Oh
so
yeah.
articulated, it's so beautiful that, I mean, you can you cannot finish exploration in your lifetime, unfortunately.
Oh
But this is its
no.
beauty.
Yeah. No, no, never. Especially with all the ideas, like, and especially combining systems too. I recently tried doing the Chumpy Stone readings with the tarot readings. So old Peruvian shaman, and that putting it with the tarot because it's just, yeah, it's just expansive.
Yeah, no, no, no.
Plus, I love systems anyway, the different divination ones. There's just too many too.
Yeah, they are very fascinating. There are different things, there are different form of magic.
Yes.
I would like to
Oh yeah.
explore even more. The South American magic, the African magic, is the rituals, is is a world and wait to be talked about, to be explored in depth, and I love that.
Oh yeah. Because now we're only like seeing things that people are comfortable with putting out in the world, bringing out into actually teaching it. Because
Yeah,
there's systems now that people are teaching that have never even been known before. So I really like that, that it's out in the world. Because that
yeah,
could be
absolutely,
somebody's medium, that they didn't even realize.
absolutely.
Yes, I know. That's why your magazine, I think, will be great, especially as it goes further, because you'll find these people that are coming out that haven't been heard, that are doing something completely new that no, they maybe they didn't even know was individualistic to themselves, until they
Yeah,
start talking about it and seeing how rare what they're doing is. And I think that's the beauty of also getting people to come out and talk to, is that
yeah.
opening their eyes on something they're doing that people find fascinating that hasn't been out there before.
Absolutely. This is the
Yeah.
challenge, this is the goal, and I love that. And the more
Yeah.
people know us, the more it will be easier. Because well, for the first, the issue, the volume number 0, I have to write to every single writer that I wanted to be featured in the magazine. For the number 1, no. Many came to me because they were readers of the volume 0 and they wanted to say something. And I love that because in this way, more people that I mean, that I didn't know, that the idea, the thoughts, and the experiments came out,
Yes.
and they deserve this
Yeah.
kind of visibility. And I mean, it's
Yeah.
exploration for me too, and I love that. I'm
Hmm.
learning putting together the magazine, and is
Yes.
and it's like connecting. I mean, I'm part of the community I'm creating and an active member of the community, and I like that because I
Yeah.
never had so many interesting dialogue with so many amazing people. Because imagine that for every article there was a telephone call, a video call, maybe two, sometimes three, and talking and going
Yeah.
deeper and navigating doubts and how to do it and what to avoid. Because, I mean, so many things, and it's amazing.
Hmm. Oh yeah. No, absolutely. Oh, there we go. I'm just checking to see if there's. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I know. So fascinating. I love reading.
No,
So.
this is because, I mean, you can upset an article and say, oh, yes, write about it without discussing. But if I do something like that, I think part of the magic of the magazine will be lost. So whenever I receive an idea, I was proposed an idea about an article. I like to know exactly what I want to do and
Mhm.
ask and dialogue and put together something. Then they are free to write it. But
Yeah.
it's nice to have this first dialogue, to know better, to think, even because then there are the pictures to take or the illustration that need to be done. So I have to work on the article on that side too. So I need
Yeah.
to understand it very well. I need to know it. I need to feel it. And no, it's,
Oh, and I'm sure too because you do all the pictures and the illustrations. So having them explain it to you so you can start building that world within it as well.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I like that. You have to feel it. You have to experience the article. And I love that.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I know. That's why I can't wait to get the magazine. I'm gonna dive into it when it finally comes.
Yeah, but I
Yeah, I'm
think
Really.
yours
curious,
should be
very
to you
curious.
in 2 days. I mean, I hope so. It should be
Yeah.
very soon for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
Mira, what? Oh, sorry.
No,
I
I
thought you were
thought
gonna say
Bjorn
something.
was asking
Yeah, me
something. I don't
too.
know.
Yeah, I thought so too. You started saying something, Bjorn. No?
No, no, no,
Oh, like I feel like you start talking and just stop, and then
no.
it's like,
I have the strange. I have the strange face. deformed, so you think
Yeah.
that I'm going to
Yeah.
say something.
But I mean, we are here live, so if someone want to ask something, we are here happy
Yes.
to answer questions. So I mean, don't be shy. It would be fun.
Yes. Yeah, no, definitely. That's why I keep looking back. 'Cause there are people watching it. It's just they've just silent today. That's what I'm trying to see. Now I'm making sure that it's live. I mean, no, we're live, but
Yeah,
Yes.
making sure the
you know,
comments are live. That's what I should say.
after
Yes. Now we
after
discover
they
there are
will find
many,
us.
many questions and no one
Yeah,
can able to read it. No, please.
Yeah.
they will find
Yeah.
us later on, so no worries.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
Well, yeah. Okay. I'm just. Oh, where's chat? Yeah. Oh, did I just turn it off? Oh, sorry. I thought I just knocked myself out of the own meeting. Yeah. No, I always do because I after the lives I always post it on our podcast channels and it goes to like I think right now 49 different places so people can watch it in all those places and
Wow.
see it. And we do get a lot of downloads in every single one of those places. So even that's why for you like advertising in weird places because I had never heard of iHeart podcast before. But like from our last week podcast, we had 21 downloads from a podcast channel I've never even heard of, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, communicating, being outside there with your project is like navigating an ocean. So many options that you are lost. You have to understand which tools is good for you and which one not. So there is a lot of experimentation going on there.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And
But it's
getting and like
part of the challenge and the beauty of a creative idea, the sharing it.
yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and yeah, and that's why like in finding those places, that's why just throwing out your work everywhere, throwing out your ideas everywhere because you don't know where it's going to be the most popular, where the
Yeah.
person's going to be the one who really hones in on everything. I always find that amazing when you're putting stuff out there and the people that do come out and like are really into it that you would have never expected, you know?
Yes, there's someone, I don't remember who it was, but said once, whenever you cross the street, smile. Doesn't matter if you're sad or not, just smile. You never know that smile, how can the effect I can have in someone else's life. And I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So smile.
Yes.
Maybe you make
Yes.
the day of someone else that is sad and see you smile and say, oh, yes, I have to smile too. And
Yeah, yes.
something happens. You never know.
Yeah, frighten their days. Yes, I love that.
So, so mote it be. So
Yeah.
anyway, I have to run.
Oh,
Yeah, I have
okay.
to run to bed because tomorrow it will be very early. Thank you very much that you was a
Yes.
guest again. Thank you very much.
Thank you to
Always
you, Bjorn.
welcome.
Thank you to
And
you. It was
Um,
a pleasure to be here again.
yes, and I'll have all of your links and everything in
Yeah,
here, but
thank
I'll
you.
also send it with the newsletter again and then the in our links and stuff. So definitely get the magazine. Like always get the magazine because if nothing else, it's a keepsake. It's one of those things you can look back at, and
Yeah,
especially on the journey in your life. Like I've noticed that a lot of the times with your work too is in our life we're always going to be in different places. We're always going to be doing different things, and having something in your hand like that magazine and going back to it and reading it from a different place, you're going to see something different in those people's words. You're going to see something different in how they're portraying it across that maybe you didn't see it the first time around when you were in a other
yeah,
place, you know, and what's inspiring
exactly.
depending where you're at in your journey in life. I
yeah.
mean, that's why I love getting them the copies. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
No, but I mean, I think when we decide what to write, I mean, what article to feature in the magazine, one of the things that for us is, for me, is very, very important that the life of an article, all the article that you find there, they will be valid for years and years. I mean, an article about Calvino and the Tower of Cross Destiny, the Castle of Cross Destinies, or an article about the First Nation in Australia and the way of the dreams and how they were reflected in a tarot practice. Or there are articles that are so deep, so dense that it's not something that you read and you in a week is already gone, like an advertising that is not actual anymore. I think there are that kind of articles that you go back in different moment of your life. And I like it. I
Yeah,
hope so. I mean, then there are articles
yes,
like that maybe will communicate later a different meaning, a different concept, and a different point of view from the one you gather when you read it. And I like that.
yeah,
This is the
me
reason why the
too.
magazine has to be beautiful, has to be sturdy, has to be a collectible. Because I mean, I wanted to keep them. Now I don't have them here in this room, but in another room, I just finished to prepare them. I have the cover of the number zero and the number one framed, and I
Yay.
want to have every single cover frame and create a line.
I like
And by
that.
the way, I announce it here publicly for the first time.
Oh,
So pay
yay.
attention, because if you are an artist, whatever kind of artist, or you want to experiment with the art, the cover of the volume 2 will be a contest. I would like to open the possibility for someone to express their point of view on the occult. I will I have to write to organize the contest. It will be a little contest. And so there are things that I'm still thinking about, but the idea is to give the winner the cover and alpha page, one page on the inside, where we can talk about is day art, the website, and maybe even the second classified. So we have another point of view, another artist that is there, and we can talk about his day art and their point of view on what they are doing. So is it's something that I'm thinking about. It's something that I really want to do. So I have to do very quickly, very fast, because I really want to put it there. I really want to create a cover in this way.
That's exciting. Yeah, I like that idea to bring out the
Mm.
artist, bring out somebody's inner artist on how they want to portray themselves. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
Definitely.
there are
Yes.
lots of esoteric art around the world, and there are lots of people that want to experiment with it. So I want to see a different point of view on the cover
Yeah.
too.
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, I would love that. That'd be amazing. And then to hear their story about it too. I like that, going back into the magazine and hearing why they created it. I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. See, it's gonna be more exciting each magazine. Like it's just gonna be like this
I
journey.
want to grow. I want to make the magazine more and more magical and more special at every volume. And I have like a roadmap in my mind. And let's see. Let's see what will become real. Is a very ambitious project. So let's see.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I like
You
it.
will
I
get
think it's
there.
gonna grow.
We
Yeah,
support you
yes,
anyway.
Yes,
yes,
yeah, no,
always,
thank you.
always.
I don't want to say too much because I don't want to create expectation. I know what I want. I know some of the direction that I want to experiment with, but
Mhm.
I don't see all the future. I
Yeah,
see
yeah, good.
still a certain horizon. Then what will
Yeah,
be
yeah.
beyond that horizon, it will be a mystery. It's a mystery for me too. And I'm looking forward to see what is beyond the horizon that I see.
Oh, I love that. And that's even bigger journey. I love it.
Yeah.
Makes it
Will be great.
interesting. Yes, oh,
A lot of
definitely.
success.
Yes, and we'll post everything. And yeah, of course, we'll always have you back. So yeah, can't wait
No,
to dive
thank
in.
you.
And yeah,
Thank you so much. It was
Bye.
amazing as always.
yes. Oh, always yes.
Bye.
Bye.